subscribe. Tariq Radio. Like and subscribe.
What's up, everybody? We're in the building. It is that time, everybody. Let me give you a round of applause. We're in the building. Glad to have everybody up in here. Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on with you guys? We're ready to chop up good game as we always do. And before we do that, ladies and gentlemen, let me have you, if I may have you, give me a retweet. You guys give us a nice retweet. Let everybody know that we're live, and that would be phenomenal. And before I get started, let me shout out some of the regulars in here. Let me show some love to some of the regulars. Let's say I see Layla. We have the intern. We have Panamera, FBA Trade Day. We have Obsidian. We have Jess. We have MRK. We have Stones. We have Anya Saru in the building. Sweets, little old me. Brother Malcolm in the building. Highland in the building. Ty Powell. Brother Maroc. Love I Am. The lovely Brooke in the building. The Tethernator. Akeem. Dan Jones. Brother Arthur. Ernest. Sir Mike. The family is in the house deep right now. All right. So a lot of folks are coming on in the room already. I love it. It's beautiful. So let's get right into it, family. Did you guys hear the announcement that Trump is planning on issuing out $5 million gold cards to kind of replace the green cards? I don't think they're going to fully replace green cards, but this is something that Trump is proposing. The gold card, basically, from what I understand, it's a $5 million card for foreign people who want to get United States citizenship. They have to buy this $5 million gold card in order to get a fast track to citizenship. And I think they say that's going to kind of circumvent a whole bunch of broke people rushing for the border. You giving green cards to anybody who can mosey across the border. They ain't got no paper. They're just draining resources. So they're like, look, let's get some immigration popping, but let's get some people with some paper. And how does the family feel about that? Because that's what other countries do, especially like African nations. I talk about this all the time. When they solicit for us to come over there, when we want to immigrate or get a right to abode or some type of dual citizenship in one of these other countries, which we never really get full dual citizenship. But a lot of times when we do get somewhat of a cosmetic type of dual citizenship, we got to go over there with a bag. They put a price tag on it. We got to go to these countries with a checkbook, and we got to let them know what's in the bank account. They want to know what kind of bread you holding. They don't let us just run up in these countries with no paper. You see? And I kind of like the idea that they didn't put a high price tag on it. I ain't got a problem with that. I don't have a problem with that at all. And and I think this will have some benefits for the whole nation and some direct and indirect benefits for foundational Black Americans stuff for the whole nation. Um, Putting a price tag on the citizenship, all these people want to come over instead of sneaking across the border. No, just cough up that 5 milli, get this card and do what you do. If you get enough people paying for that, that'll be a reduction on some of the national deficit. The fees collected from these type of visas, that can help out with the deficit. Yeah. Enough listen, like if you sell 1 million gold cards, all right, because how many we get immigrants over here by the millions. Just imagine we sell 1 million of those gold cards. That's $5 trillion in revenue. That ain't bad. Yeah. Also, a lot of these people, I think you get wealthy immigrants who are coming over, they'll be more likely to invest in various sectors of the US economy, particularly real estate and businesses and startup. And that leads to economic growth and job creation, right? So yeah, these people come over with some paper, but just like other countries, like when we go to other countries, they want us to have paper to contribute to the economy, to help create jobs for the people there. We should do the same thing with foreigners. They come over with some paper. You can get a $5 million card. That means you holding something, so you can come over and you can establish enterprises and expand on existing enterprises, and you can create employment opportunities for American workers. Contribute, bring some to the table. I like it. I like that, and that's increased tax revenue. If you get some high net worth individuals coming over here, they can contribute to the tax brackets. Yeah, and that can bolster public finances and help fund essential services, bringing in a high tax bracket over here instead of people just draining things. I don't have a problem with it at all, to be honest. Also, what it does, man, it attracts global talent. See what we're doing now, we just bringing over Uber drivers. I'm not trying to be mean, but damn, we got enough Uber drivers. If you got some people who can afford a $5 million gold card, you're going to bring over some people who's going to bring some talent over here, some skills over here that's going to be utilized for the betterment of the society. That's a great thing. Eh? We need people with exceptional talent, people who can enhance innovation and competitiveness and things like that. I'm not trying to be mean, but damn, we don't need no more DoorDash drivers. Yeah. And I think that those selling those cards like that might strengthen international relations. You welcome in people from diverse backgrounds, and they can foster better diplomatic and economic ties with other nations. So you're bringing over people who are clearly connected in their home country, who they probably want to come over and expand their enterprise, because um, they don't need to come over because they're poor. They want to come over and build. So that will create um, possibly more trade routes or trade unions that we can establish. Because if they're holding that kind of money, they got something popping in their homeland. So they can come over and expand on what they're doing, and do it in a way where it's going to be equitable to us over here. You see? And also, you know what it is? You get people who are foreign who's coming over with some paper, that'll help revitalize the real estate market too, because you have some affluent people who are likely to invest in like luxury properties and things like that. That will stimulate the real estate market, because a lot of these people, if they come over here and they got that kind of bread, most likely they're going to invest in real estate, just like the Chinese. The Chinese, they invest in a lot of real estate over here. So I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with that at all. And also, some of these people come over and they can engage in philanthropic contributions. A lot of these wealthy immigrants, they can engage in philanthropy activities and support various social causes and community projects. Just contribute. They got something to bring to the table. Uh, we need that. And that encourages global entrepreneurship, by having these people coming over here and providing a conducive environment for their business development. The US can kind of position themselves as a hub for global entrepreneurs seeking to expand their ventures. So if you're going to bring folks over as immigrants, bring some people who can really, really genuinely contribute like that. So I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with that whatsoever. And another thing, there's some direct and indirect benefits for foundational Black Americans. You see, some of the direct benefits is that's going to kind of be a reduction in the economic competition at the bottom. See, what happens is you bring a bunch of poor people over here hungry and starving, so they coming over here, what do? They start working for lower wages, and they don't demand any benefits, so that undercuts low wage workers that are already struggling. So they come over and say, hey, it's 20 of us living in a house, we'll work for $2 an hour. You see, so then that undermines what we got going on. So you bring people over here who's papered up, that's going to reduce that type of nonsense. Yeah. We're not going to have a whole bunch of people depressing the wages. in certain industries. Yeah. When you bring over people who got some significant financial capital, right? So yeah, I ain't got a problem with it. And also, this increases government revenue for programs. So some of these people with the gold cards they're bringing in millions of dollars or generating billions of dollars in government revenue. We can say, hey, some of that money that's going to the government, now we got a new stream of funds. So hey, about that paper, about them tangibles, about them reparations, about those business grants, about let's holler at y'all about some of these community programs. Now that we got a whole fresh supply of cash flow coming in here, let's get some community programs going with that capital. Let's get some tangibles going on with that capital. You see? And again, like I said earlier, man, real estate market gains, man. A lot of these people can invest in high end real estate rather than that low income housing shit. What happens is they bring these immigrants over here and they just basically become slumlords. Now, wealthy real estate folks ain't really trying to go that route. So if they invest in um, high end real estate, that will avoid further gentrification in black communities. All right. So yeah, there's a lot of little benefits there. And also, um, that can be more capital and funding for black owned businesses. See, a lot of these people, they come over and they get into venture capitalism and um, different types of community based or group based investing groups. And that's something that we can click in with people on, possibly. You see? A lot of these people might be looking for business opportunities and partnerships, and a lot of black entrepreneurs can tap into those pool of investors who's down for funding and doing joint ventures and business expansions, things like that, man. Just people who got something going on. Whereas we got folks over here who they barely have a pot to damn piss in. They really can't help us. Let's be real. A lot of these folks who come over here now, they can't really help us. They don't. That's why we're like looking at immigration. Like, what the hell are we sitting here caping for immigration for the most part? And I'm not talking about just certain individuals that happens to be cool. As a collective, immigration as we see it now, that don't benefit foundational Black Americans. Just bringing a bunch of third world people in here eating up the resources, that just doesn't benefit us. You know? And like I said, if they this gold card thing, that's going to kind of raise the standards for immigration vetting because again, this is going to target financially stable immigrants. So that's going to reduce the drug mules coming over here flooding our damn communities with opium and drugs and all of this nonsense. People coming over here with these weird wannabe Anglo dispositions, taking their hostility and frustration out on us, doing little things to undermine us. So, that'll reduce that to a certain degree. Yeah, you dig? And there's indirect benefits too. There's indirect benefits because a lot of these ultra wealthy immigrants, they might see cities like Atlanta, Houston, or the black hubs as investment opportunities, and that can bring high end development that could offer job opportunities to foundational Black Americans. Also, that can shift political focus as well. We can do a major shift on the political sphere with that in an indirect way because you'll reduce the number of low wage immigrants flooding the labor market. So, a lot of politicians are going to have to focus more on the concerns of foundational Black Americans instead of using immigration policies that cater to non-Black groups. You see, we got to stop all this stuff, man. We have to stop all that stuff and we have to do new things. And I like new ideas like this. I like it. We need to shake up the table. And also, another indirect benefit, this is going to be less of a strain on social services. Let's be real, man. A lot of the low income immigrants, they come over and they take advantage of the social services, the housing assistance, Medicaid, SNAP benefits, um, resources that are already limited, grants. That's why we, as foundational Black American, we can't get a grant for shit because by the time we try to go get a grant or scholarship, the immigrants then came over and then soaked up all of that stuff. Yeah. So that puts a strain on the resources. So if you got people coming over who's already papered up, that'll free up some of those social resources for foundational Black Americans who genuinely need them and deserve them. You see, we need them and deserve them. And also, this will open up the conversation for a lot of political immigration reform discussions favoring foundational Black Americans. See, these immigration policies, if they start prioritizing wealthy immigrants, that can set the stage for discussions about immigration policies that don't harm foundational Black Americans. And we can talk about policies that reduce that influx of foreign groups who get disproportionate benefits meant for foundational Black Americans. So there's a lot of direct and indirect benefits there. And then what happens is the reparations conversation becomes more relevant because what they do every time we start talking about what we need, they say, oh, no, 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 there's some poor groups over here who need some help. They just got here and they living in a shelter and they need help first. Oh, no, no, we got some Ukrainians who need, no, we got this group who needs help. We got that immigrant who needs help. So the thing is, um, if the US government is willing to sell citizenship for $5 million a person, that will strengthen the argument that um, the US government has the financial means to provide reparations for us too. That exposes the fact that America has the resources, but they choose where to allocate those resources. You see? So I don't have a problem with none of that stuff at all. So let me have the family chime in. I like to hear what you got to say. Everybody raise your hand. Let me get my man Suntan in here. This is our Greek brother. This is a brother who's from Greece, a gentleman who's from Greece. What's up, brother? And then we'll get Patrick Reeds in here. What's up?
Hey, hey, Tariq. All your points are great, and I'm speaking as an immigrant myself. I like the idea of that the United States going forward is a prestige country, and
Yeah,
to come here, it's not, we don't want the dregs of society. We're not an empty country anymore that we need to fill up with immigrants. We're a prestige country, and if you're coming here, you have to have the money for it.
right, right.
And I'll land my plane on that.
There you go. Yeah, man. Yeah, we bringing over the third world. That shit ain't. What is that doing? That ain't it. That's just not it. That's not it no more. Let's get Patrick Reeds.
You know what the funniest shit I've heard in a while was?
What's
Was
that?
that the FBA and stuff, but like I'm just saying, like it's kind of funny to me because he's like the opposite of that, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, what you saying? It ain't hidden. Your trolling ain't really hidden, bro.
I mean, like obviously we know you're married to a Jew and like that's what you're all about is protecting the Jews. But like I'm just talking about the
That's
fact that
it.
like
It
it's
ain't. It
funny.
hidden. It ain't hidden, sir. That's why your birth rates are struggling. You're not creative.
I agree, dude. I agree, dude. That's
Yeah, your birth rates are struggling. Y'all say the same lame troll material. It's not hidden, sir.
dude. I all sorts of hookers like and try to
Yeah,
impress.
it's not hitting, sir. This type of trolling is like played out. That played out like about 7 years ago. You're doing that old 2018 trolling. You're too old for that. You sound like
I'm
an older.
not. I'm not. I'm telling you.
Sir, listen, listen. We're going to have an intervention. We're going to have an intervention, sir. You sound like a middle-aged white man, and you're doing old, goofy, unfunny trolling at your old, ripe age, sir. Yeah, yes, sir. Your birth rates are already struggling. You don't have any children, and you're dying out, and you're doing old, played out trolling. Good grief! What happened to the Aryan, um, Germanic man? What happened to you guys? You fell off. What happened? This is what you've been reduced to: old, corny, unfunny trolling in a trailer park, sir. That wasn't. It's not witty, not funny. It's not original. Just it's lame. The women don't like it. That's why the white women in your community are bobbing down on soul poles. So you're in a trailer doing some goofy, unfunny, lame, butthurt trolling, sir.
Are you
That's
gonna let me respond or are you gonna mute me?
no, 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 no. We're having an intervention, sir. Your trolling is outdated. You're just too old, sir. You're too old for that. It's lame.
Well, you're putting
Yeah,
words in
but
my
the
mouth.
younger, listen, even the younger dudes are more the younger white supremacists are at least more creative with their trolling. Your trolling is outdated. It's not even original.
I'm above white supremacism. I'm about Jews. Like, there's a difference here. Like, I'm about having sex with all the minorities I can to create a Goyim bastard army that will raise the mother.
Yeah, you using old 4chan gibberish that's played out. Yeah, those old 4chan dudes who's been sitting around trolling on 4chan, they to my Goyim and all gropers. That shit is lame. God, you guys are lame as hell. Do you ever wonder why the white women in your community be running around here getting chocolate poles all up in them? You're the reason why, sir. The white women don't want to be with lame guys like you. Lame trolls in a trailer park, just saying the goofiest, most unfunniest, unoriginal gibberish.
You're the one making it a white and black thing because you're married to a Jew.
Well, yeah, that's not offensive, sir. You lying about me.
I'm making
Is
it
that
a fucking Jew versus Goyim thing.
do you
You're
think that's
making it a white
offensive?
and black thing because you're
Is
married to a Jew.
is that supposed to be offensive?
I'm just telling you the truth. Like, you're putting
Okay.
words in my mouth, this
Oh,
fake narrative in my face.
is it supposed to be? You keep saying, is that supposed to be offensive?
I'm not trying to be offensive. I'm just spitting the truth here, bro.
Saying it as an insult. Okay, if what if I,
No, I'm not. I'm saying it as the
okay,
fucking truth.
okay, what if I was? Okay, now I am. So now what?
I'm not attacking you. I'm just saying spitting truth here, and you're
Okay,
trying to like
okay, but
fucking.
okay, you keep saying it. Okay, so I am. I got a big Jew in my bedroom. So now what?
Yeah, so it doesn't matter if you're black or white. What I'm trying to do is reproduce the Goyim to the point where I can create a war
Right.
bastard children army. To
All your talking points are failing. You're not offensive.
you're not even letting me finish them because you know they're
But you're
fucking.
not saying anything. You're just saying dumbass stuff because you're butthurt because of your birth rate. Say that. This is an intervention. This is what you white supremacists do to kind of fight Mother Nature because your birth rates are struggling and you're not reproducing and you're laying up in a trailer park in a white enclave somewhere and your birth rates are struggling and you're mad at black people. We didn't do it. It was the Lord who did it. You got to be mad at God. God reduced those white supremacist birth rates, sir. That wasn't us. Why are you mad at us?
I'm not mad at. I don't care about white supremacist birth rates. I'm talking
Right, you
about Goyim.
do. You're just making up stuff, saying just anything. You're trying to be offensive and talking about married to Jews. That's not offensive, sir. What's offensive is your struggling birth rate.
No, I'm saying Goyim.
What
Like, I don't care.
are we gonna do about those birth rates? We got to do something about those struggling birth rates.
I don't care about white birth rates. I care about Goyim birth rates.
Right. Now, sir, now your sister,
How many Colombian?
are you upset because your sister has probably had a child by a black man. So you have a mulatto nephew.
That would be a Goyim at
Right.
least. I don't care.
Or you have a mulatto nephew and you're upset. All right. Because that mulatto nephew comes over with his
Mulattoes are.
your mulatto nephew comes over with that big afro and tells you that the house smells like a wet dog because black kids are not used to that smell.
Dude, mulattoes are good at sports.
Right. Yeah, your comebacks are even lame. But your mulatto nephew says, Uncle, you smell like mayonnaise and wet dogs. I want to go bye-bye. And that's what you're upset.
Let's talk about your Jew ass. Like, I
Right. Okay, sir. Good Lord, you white supremacists are lame with your material. You're too old, sir, to be doing goofy, lame trolling. You're way too old. You're not creative. All right. Let me get Duke. Brother Duke, hop in, sir. Duke, hop in.
Yeah, I just got a different opinion about. I mean, I understand that the gold card will provide some, I guess, some richer immigrants to come over here and um, stimulate the economy, sort of. But
But
I feel like there will be no benefit for Black Americans at all. First of all, my first point is um with these rich immigrants, they're going to give get better influence. They're going to be able to bring their people over here. They're going to be able to bring their drags over here
Mm,
to get their job, get the few jobs or the money that they're providing. I don't I think it's I don't think we I don't think we know the extent of what money can do in this country. That this just like that Indian situation. You got people like Vivek and other Indians bringing their drags over here. They're rich and they have a kind of they have influence, but they just bring their people over here for the jobs and everything else. So I don't think there is anything to anything happy to be about, because there's just more competition. Our black billionaires or whatever, they're not doing anything as providing for jobs. They just have $1 billion just sitting there. Not that I'm saying they owe us anything, but I'm just saying like they're not doing anything.
mm,
They're not rising us up. Vivek and his ilk are rising the Indians up. I don't know if anybody. I, they probably do about the HB1s. I mean, these people are flooding, taking over jobs in IT, regular menial jobs, all because of a couple of Indians with influence. So I don't think that gold card would benefit us at all.
okay. Oh, okay. All right. Thank you so much, brother. Very good.
Yes, sir.
Very good points. Now, listen, you do have, we got billionaires here. We've got a handful of billionaires here. And, I think they provided job opportunities for many Black people. I think Sheila Johnson, the co-founder of BET, they provided a lot of jobs. Tyler Perry, he has a net worth of $1 billion. He's supplied jobs and employment opportunities for a lot of people. I think Robert Smith, he's provided jobs. I think Robert is also given scholarships and things like that. So some of the billionaires, they do what they do. They hook people up. They do what they do. Let's get Truth Seeker. Let's get Truth Seeker in the building. Truth Seeker.
Hey, what's happening, Tariq?
What's up, brother? How
Oh man, everything's good. I'm out here in the Bay,
to the Bay?
San Francisco, California.
All day.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
that's right. But now, back to these reparations. I really don't think that we're gonna get them unless we really force these people to give us our money, like back in the days, in the biblical days, with the Jews in Egypt.
Okay. All right. Well, there's different ways we can do it. We can get it done, and we're going to get it done. Yeah, we're going to make that happen. We're definitely going to make that happen. Let's get some more people in here. Y'all raise your hand if you're ready. If you're ready to get on, raise your hand, ladies and gentlemen. If you are ready to get on, raise your hand, because we do have a lot of people in here. And, I think the gold card thing might be a great idea. I think it'll be a good idea, but hey, some people might disagree. Let's get into it. Let's get into that. Let's get um this that. Let's get this that in here. This that.
What's going on, Tariq?
What's up, brother? How are you?
Man, I'm blessed, man. Good to talk to you. Hey, cook with me for a minute. Don't shoot me down. I want to have a conversation with you.
Go ahead.
For one, I know you hit. You from around the way. What up, though? When I say that, you already know what I'm
Detroit.
talking about. You
Detroit.
you from around the way, but I don't give them white people that much credit as far as to think that no matter what group come in or whoever they bring in, that they're going to give us something if they don't if we keep certain groups of immigrants out. The thing I give them credit for, they know the power of us. They know what we capable of, and just as a smart study history, I get them. They like the way they try to keep their foot on our neck or on our back, the ones that they can. Like they know what we're capable of if they let up off of us.
Mm-hmm.
That's why, although I want to do whatever they can to get reparations, I'm with all of that, the delineation, I want us to desegregate and go back into our own communities, our own healthcare system, our own education system, et cetera, et cetera. But I also know that these, although they are everything that we say they are too intelligent to give us the leeway that we need in order to get them up off of us. That's my first point. And my second point is, if it comes to delineation, which we're trying to do, and do you think that we should desegregate, or do you think that we should still try to build within their system and have them teach our kids and in control of our border education system and all of that?
Well, the thing is, when you talk about desegregated, thank you for the call. See, that's when people talk about we all need to separate, man. We need to separate from these white people. When folks call and say that, okay, separate and go where? Separating go where? We live in a global system of white supremacy. They control all of the damn planet. So where you gonna go? You gonna go to Africa? You can't go to Africa. They got that locked. They control Africa. Remember, I had a fool on here a few weeks ago talking about we all need to move to Atlanta and take over Atlanta, take over Georgia. So, hey, nigga, stop. Yeah, I'm not dismissing the brother who just called up. I think he was being very genuine. But you have some folks when they call in just talking gibberish. Not the gentleman who called, but there's people who start talking gibberish that's just impractical. It's a bunch of catchphrases. We better understand we live in a global system of white supremacy. Where you going to go to separate, quote unquote? See, we don't need to do all that because you can't do all that. There's nowhere to go. Everything has been colonized. The only place that wasn't colonized was North Sentinel Island. That's the only place that wasn't colonized. That's because they knew if the minute they get on that island, you kill them. That's it. So other than that, and there were two places that were never colonized. Two places on the planet Earth in the last 500 years that was not colonized by the white supremacists. That was North Sentinel Island and the Great Dismal Swamp of North Carolina and Virginia. Those only two places that were not colonized. Those only two places on Earth in the last 500 years that the white supremacists couldn't go to. And after the Civil War, people gradually moved out of the Great Dismal Swamp because they didn't need to move there anymore. They didn't need to live there anymore. That was a sanctuary area for people who were escaping slavery. And then um, after the Civil War, they gradually moved out. So they never took an L in that place because the white supremacists, if they got in that swamp, they would get killed. That's why they got Blackwater down there. Eric Prince's company, they set up shop down there in the Great Dismal Swamp to study what foundational Black Americans did to maintain such a military stronghold that never took an L. See, they study that. Blackwater is down there. They set their headquarters up there now. They drop Navy SEALs off in that swamp to do training. Speaking of Blackwater and immigration, did y'all hear about Eric Prince? He put in like a $25 billion bid to have a private police system to do some of these deportations for the Trump administration. So they're trying to get their bid in. They're trying to get a piece of that paper out there.
Rude work, feel that natural flow. Rude work, stay fresh wherever you go. Rude work, I like the way it feels. Rude work, the magic is so real.